All right, I'm here today with Ashley Snyder, who is the Assistant Director of Admissions at Ivy Tech campus in Sellersburg. Ashley, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, no problem.
So, just tell us a little bit about the Ivy Tech campus that you kind of oversee, and like where it is, what you offer, and why someone would want to should think about attending there.
Sure. So the Ivy Tech campus where I work is located in Sellersburg. In Indiana, we are a statewide school, so we have locations all over the state of Indiana. And I just so happen to be at Sellersburg. We have a beautiful campus here, very quiet. We've got two buildings. Very modern and updated, very nice. We're very proud of our campus here. And one thing that I think is really amazing about Ivy Tech is, and why, if you're a student and you're considering going to college or a potential student considering going to college, is that Ivy Tech is the most affordable school in the state of Indiana, but has really quality education. We have great programs, great professors that can get you into a career field with certifications and a quick 2 year degree. So if you're someone who's definitely wanting to get something quick and get out into the workforce and be making money, it's a great option for you. Another great option with Ivy Tech is that it's a great option where if you're just wanting to save money, have a focused career field, and continue your education, it's a great place to start as well. Like I said, you're getting a quality education, you're saving money, you're able to enter the workforce and gain actual professional experience while all the while continuing your education either with us or somewhere else. So it's really a great option for students, and why I think it should be highly considered when you're looking for a school.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Ivy Tech has an agreement with other schools too. So, I correct the transfer agreement that you have with like IU and some other state schools.
Mm-hmm.
Would you talk about that for a little bit and just kind of tell the details on that?
Absolutely. So, and this is something that students don't often think about when they are trying to pick a school or when they're thinking about going to college. One thing you want to look at is you want to look at the accreditation of your college, because not all credits are the same and not all credits can be transferred. And so, Ivy Tech is a regionally accredited school, and so we are able to transfer credits to places like IU, Purdue, IUPUI, Ball State, even U of L, colleges like that, and in return accept credits from places like that. So that's something that's really important. We usually sometimes we can get confused with like a nationally accredited school, and so if you attend a nationally accredited school, those credits aren't going to be transferable. Usually those schools are really focused on a certain career field, so whether it's medical or maybe like an auto tech school, usually they're more nationally accredited, and then we can't transfer those credits or accept those credits. So when you are looking to attend a school, you want to make sure that you're looking at that accreditation, because the last thing you want to do is spend 2 years somewhere and hope that your credits transfer as you continue your education, and they don't. And so with Ivy Tech that those credits are transferable and you can still transfer to a 4 year school. And we do have a lot of programs that are kind of designed for you to start with us and then continue your education. So a really popular one is our education programs. Those programs are really designed for you to come here and get a really quality education. You actually gain experience your first semester in that program where you're actually working with students. So from the very beginning if this is what you want to do. And then, of course, we know that to become a licensed teacher, you have to have that bachelor's degree. So really, like a program like that is designed for you to start, gain experience, have that extra credential, and then transfer to a 4 year school.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great program to have, and one that could save students a ton of money.
Pay
And
tons of money, give you experience. It's great. It's great.
so, what does Ivy Tech look for in a potential student, and what all do students need to do to apply, and kind of what are their requirements for application?
Sure. So I guess looking at students, for us, if you are someone who wants to continue your education and you want to go to college, then we want to have you here. So it doesn't matter what background you have and where you've come from. If you want to go to college, you should be able to. And I feel like Ivy Tech has made that possible for a lot of students who otherwise thought they couldn't attend college. So if you're a college student and you're ready, we'll take you. We want you. So that's kind of the students we're looking for. The other thing is our admissions process, our enrollment process. So there's a couple steps. The first step is completing an application. Our application is can be found online. It is free, so you don't have to pay for the application. Some colleges, you'll start applying for schools and you might find yourself paying $25, $50, $75 for an application. So ours is free. It can be completed in about 15 to 20 minutes, so it can be done very quickly and can be processed through very quickly. So we usually tell students about 24 to 48 hours, let that application process, and then you'll be hearing from us. And once you complete that application and it's been approved and accepted and processed through, the next step is setting up your account. So we have a student portal that we call My Ivy, and that's a portal where you can access everything that you need as a student. So your student email, set a way to schedule an appointment, to access your financial aid, like everything that you need, your classes, everything you need can be found through that. Once again, really quick, can be set up very quickly. And so once those two steps are completed, the next step is looking at our knowledge assessment, which is our placement test. So since we're an open access school, meaning we don't require you to have a certain GPA score, we don't require you to have taken the SATs or the ACTs and require a certain score on that. Now, if you have taken that, that's great. And I would even recommend that you take those tests. But if you haven't, we will still accept you into our school. You don't have to have that. But in lieu of that, we've created this placement test called the Knowledge Assessment. And that really helps us understand where the student is at academically in English and in math and what classes they're ready for. I know like a lot of people have testing anxiety. And so coming in and scheduling a proctored test and it being timed can be very, can add a lot of nerves to that process. This test is something that can actually be taken through your My Ivy account. So you can take it from the comfort of your home, on your couch. I always say, get your laptop open, sit on your couch, get your dog, get comfortable and go ahead and complete that assessment. And you're not going to have this time frame on you. So you can take it at your pace and not feel that pressure. If by chance you don't meet the goal score that you need, you can actually go back into the assessment instead of having to retake it until you get your goal score. There are modules that focus on areas where you scored weaker. And so you can go in and you can complete those modules, kind of giving you a refresher. Because, if you've graduated and it's been the summer and you haven't been using math all summer, you're going to forget it, right? Hopefully not. Okay. But
you're going to figure it out.
But it kind of can help refresh your memory on how to do those problems. And then as you complete those, it raises your score. And once you meet that goal score, you're going to be ready to schedule your classes and meet with an advisor. So that last step is meeting with your advisor and scheduling your classes. Now, there are ways to bypass our knowledge assessment, and that would be if you have previously earned a college credit. So if you're a dual credit student or you've already earned a college credit in English and math and you've got a C or higher, you would be able to receive waivers for that. If you have certain SAT and ACT scores that meet our requirements, we would be able to offer you waivers for that as well. So once again, if you take that test, it could benefit you. And then if you are an Indiana graduate and you have a core 40 and you had a 2.6 or higher, then we can offer you waivers for the knowledge assessment as well. And then you can completely bypass that and go straight to an advisor.
All right. Plenty of options. And I know that online portal is very helpful too. So
yes,
on there. All right. So this question, I know is going to be more tailored towards you at Sellersburg, because I know the different campuses. So basically what campus, what majors and what programs do you offer at Sellersburg? Because I know Like there are some that maybe Ivy Tech offers at a different location that they offered, So what are some that you can highlight?
Sure. So we have 60 plus programs and multiple certifications that can be earned underneath a lot of those programs at our campus. And you are right. So what might be offered at Indianapolis might not be offered here. And what might be offered here might not be offered at Columbus. And it can be different from campus to campus. Some of our really top programs that a lot of students have a lot of interest in. One of the main ones is our registered nursing program, our RN program. So you can actually come to school with us and become a registered nurse in 2 years, which is really awesome. And you can actually transfer to a 4-year school and continue that education to get a bachelor's if you wish. But you can also go straight into the hospitals and be working or wherever you choose to work and be working as an RN. We also have a lot of technical skill trades programs. We have HVAC and welding. We have industrial mechanical. We have industrial electrical programs for industrial maintenance. Those can be really great. This is a great area for those types of programs because there's a lot of employers looking for those fields or looking for those careers. We have criminal justice, paralegal. We have IT, a lot of IT programs. Cybersecurity is a really cool one we offer. Network infrastructure, computer science. We have software development. We also have a really cool program where if you're more into a creative field or you would maybe like to have some interest in marketing, we have a program called Visual Communications. It's very heavy in graphic design and photography and visual and audio. And we actually have students who participate in competitions and they're winning competitions and they produce amazing work. We have a gallery on campus where we display student artwork and it's very, very cool. Lots of programs. I feel like if you want to start, there's something here for you where you can start. We have business programs, really anything you can think of. Now, we are a technical college, and so we're focused in areas where we want you to be able to get employed if you earn a degree with us. And so we focus on high demand career fields. So if you're looking into like acting or drama or something of that nature, that's not going to be something that you're going to find here. But we do have a lot of really great foundations for a lot of programs. You can even come and just get a general studies degree with a little more focus in something and transfer to a 4-year school as well. A lot of options for you to take your education and make it yours and make it what you want it to be.
Yeah, even if they don't go to Sellersburg campus, at some Ivy Tech campus, they're going to find almost anything that a student could want.
Something, yeah, you can definitely find something for sure.
Yeah. So you said that the Ivy Tech is the most cost efficient school in the state, which I agree.
Yeah.
As a counselor, I agree. So why don't you talk about the cost? What is the cost to attend Ivy Tech? And then what options do they have as far as financial aid?
Sure. So the cost of our tuition is set at $149.55. So about $150 a credit hour. So if you think about a class is about 3 credit hours. And so you're looking at about maybe 400. Let me see my little cheat sheet. Yeah, about $450 a class. And what Ivy Tech has done is we have frozen tuition. So if you are a full-time student, which is 12 to 18 credit hours, you're going to pay a flat rate. And that flat rate is $2,243.25. And so per semester, that would be what you would pay. That's what you would cap out as far as tuition costs. So whether you take 12 credit hours or 18, you're paying a flat rate, which means you could potentially get 2 free classes in a semester, which is pretty cool. Also, if you go 12 credit hours in the fall or 12 credit hours in the spring, we have something called Summer Flex. So if you do that, you can take 2 free classes in the summer, which is another way that you can earn free tuition. So that's really, really cool. Also under that, we have free textbooks as well. They're more ebooks, but you can have a printed version. if you need it. If you're like me and you like a tangible, like to draw in it and make notes and things like that, you do have an option that we could help you with. But there are free books right now. So that's another perk for students as well. Because I know when I was in college, I think I paid $600 or $700 one semester just for books. So to have that, that extra cost that you don't have to pay for is really nice. So that's our tuition cost. And there are a lot of options available right now, especially to high school students that would qualify. And one of that can help pay for your tuition. One of those is the Workforce Ready Grant offered through the state of Indiana. So if you're an Indiana resident and you've graduated from high school and you have completed the FAFSA, and you have not previously earned a degree or certification, you are eligible for a free certificate or technical certificate under the state of Indiana. Now, it's not every program we offer, but it covers a lot of different things from there's an addiction study certification to HVAC to like a cybersecurity certification. There's all kinds of stuff that you could choose from. So that is one way to get some of your tuition covered. And one of those is, and so the difference between that certification and that technical certification is the certification is roughly 18 credit hours and the technical certification is roughly 30. So if you could get 30 credit hours covered, that's about half of your program. If you were to continue and want to get an associate's, that would be covered. And you would have an extra credential because you would have a certification, or you could just go enter the workforce with it. So it's pretty cool, pretty good opportunity. Most of our high school students are going to qualify for that because they haven't previously earned a degree or certificate because you're just starting out. So yeah, definitely a great option. And then also if you take advantage as a dual credit student while you're in high school, that's another great way to get some tuition, and you're already a college student with us. You already have a transcript. So that's another great way to get your, kind of get tuition under your belt and get it covered.
Yeah. So many opportunities.
Yes. Yeah.
It's amazing how much Ivy Tech has to offer, and just the cost that they have is, I've tried to do math real quick, but your sheet already had me beat. So
yeah, I've got my little cheat sheet next to me. So those numbers weren't off the top of my head. I was cheating a little bit and looking at my little diagram.
Your head. I was trying to grab my phone real quick and you got it. So, but yeah, it's just amazing how many you guys offer across the state, and the great deal that you can get. All right. So last question here. Think about when you were in college, or high school, 16, 17, 18-year-old Ashley, 6-7 years ago, trying to get through this stuff and figure it out. What do you wish that you knew then that you know now about this process?
Yeah. So for me, one of the biggest things for me was how to pay for school. And I think that's a question that's on a lot of students' minds when they're wanting to go to college. Is college is very expensive. And unfortunately, it's very expensive, and sometimes it's overwhelming to think about the cost and to go to school. And sometimes I think that is a hindrance to students because they think that it's not an option for them. And for me personally, I didn't go to school right away. I took 2 years out of high school and didn't attend right away. And, because of that tuition costs. I did your traditional 4-year route. I went straight to a 4-year school. I got a great education. And but I would say that if I could go back and do it again, I would have started at Ivy Tech. Genuinely would have started at Ivy Tech, because when I graduated, I have a degree in social work, and so when I graduated, I had other peers that graduated with me, and they had started at Ivy Tech, and they had gone through the human services program or the criminal justice program, had earned a degree, certifications. They had internships and were already in the workforce gaining experience. And then they transferred to the 4-year school I attended, got into that program, and graduated. So when they graduated, they had a bachelor's degree, an associate's degree, certifications, work experience, internships, had been networking. And when I graduated, I had a bachelor's degree. in an internship. And but I wasn't in the field gaining experience because I hadn't quite had those credentials. And so I think you could look at those two options and you could say, well, that other student probably had a better education than what I had received because they got that experience at Ivy Tech. And so I think it's just so important to really consider that, not to mention they saved a lot of money. They probably had their first 2 years of their education paid for, and I paid probably double or triple what they would have paid. So yeah, I mean, it is cost effective to come here, but you get a quality education, you get extra credentials that can really benefit you when you go into the workforce, which is why we go to college. We go to college to learn, but we go to college so we can get a career where we can make money. And so that's really, really important. So be thinking about those types of things. That's something that I wish I would have been counseled through or thought about when I was thinking about choosing a school.
Yeah, it's the cost. We
It's
got
the
to
cost. Yeah,
and that's a hard thing to do when you're 17 or 18.
absolutely.
That's a very big thing.
Yeah.
Ashley, thank you so much for your time. I
Yeah, of
really
course.
appreciate it. It was very informative, and hopefully we'll be sending some kids down to Sellersburg.
Oh man, have them come see me. I'll be happy to help.
There you go. Ashley Snyder, Assistant Director of Admissions at Ivy Tech campus located in Sellersburg.